Rattler fans, welcome to another edition of Talkin Rattlers with the Banter. It's never out of season. David Tovar, Joe Rodriguez with me. And we went on a week hiatus getting ready for Valentine's Day. Hope you got me something nice.
Oh, I forgot.
But nonetheless, a wild week of Rattler Athletics during the time we missed. So let's talk some basketball as we're approaching the All-Star break and the pros. We're approaching March Madness here in college. The ladies and the men both in action over the weekend here inside Boca Raton Arena. Thursday, both teams win. The men notably defeating then seeded number 1 Arkansas Fort Smith. On Saturday, the women not able to come up with the win. They lose at the buzzer. And the men, they defeat then ranked number 1 Newman.
A very impressive week for the men. They took on 2 teams that had that number 1 ranking. And your boy Kevin Kotzer.
No, the Ivory Tower.
Bit of a notable landmark coming up for him as he's 51 points away, I believe, from becoming the Heartland Conference all-time leading scorer. Already the all-time leading rebounder, field goal percentage amongst his many accolades.
And I wrote about it on Tovar's Take, RattlerAthletics.com. This team, the Rattlers, need to get rolling. They do it here at home. They got 2 road games upcoming, Thursday over at St. Edwards and then Saturday over at McMurray. That is 2 of their final 3 road games. And, Joe, while this team, I was talking to Fred Wilson after the game, this team has some momentum. He said it himself. They got to take it on the road, Joe.
They really do. And the thing about being good on the road is you got to do a lot of the things that you do well at home. You have to prepare well. You have to not really think of it as a road game, honestly. But the great teams take care of business at home. Rattlers did that this weekend. The good teams are also able to find ways to win games on the road. Indeed.
And, well, hopefully Thursday can be somewhat of a home game. It's only about an hour and a half away. And rumor has it the Rowdy Rattlers are going to travel up there. And we saw the shenanigans they pulled on Saturday.
Yes.
All right, now softball, moving over to the Diamond. Softball, last week they split with UIW, 1 game apiece. And then they were in Oklahoma. They went into a tournament. They came back 3-1. So a nice, impressive weekend for the ladies.
Some good bats, some good pitching. Really impressive so far.
Vidrine hit 2 home runs, so picking up right where she left off. And staying on the Diamond, the baseball team, Joe. Your baseball Rattlers, our baseball Rattlers, a little bit of a skid.
Yeah, they started out 5-0 on the year, and now they've dropped 3 in a row. A bit of pitching problems, and the last game that we saw, they had to go through 6 pitchers just to get through the game. And then they also scored 7 runs and still managed to lose the game. So very difficult time for these Rattlers as they try to figure things out.
Joe, I was reading the article by our very own Robin Johnson, RattlerAthletics.com. She interviews Brandon Bates. Bates says, we got to find the balance between pitching, between batting, and we got to bring it together. Joe, how do you diagnose this?
Well, a couple of the games are kind of fluky. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah.
And that's the way baseball is. To quote manager of the Texas Rangers, Ron Washington, that's the way baseball go. You have to be the better team every day that you play. Just because you're the better team overall doesn't mean that you're going to win on that particular day. The Rattlers have a ton of talent. They just need to put it together. Renee Solis came in, pitched a great game. They weren't able to give him help. Yesterday, Tuesday, they had great at-bats, scored a lot of runs, but the pitching wasn't there. So he's completely right when he says they need to find that balance, and I think it's something that they're going to be able to accomplish.
Those guys will be on the road this weekend, and we won't be on the road. We'll be here. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/St. Mary's Rattlers. Also, follow us on Twitter @St. Mary's Rattlers. And, of course, for all the latest score, stats, schedules, updates, RattlerAthletics.com. Stay with us. You're watching Talkin Rattlers with the Banter. Is never out of season.
This is Billy Richard. You're watching Rattlers Live.
Welcome back, Rattler fans. Talkin Rattlers with the Banter is never out of season. Joe Rodriguez, David Tovar. Joe, you're becoming a permanent fixture.
I guess so. This is 3 editions in a row.
That's true. And on all 3 editions, you've been correct on your football picks, most notably the Super Bowl. I know we're a little late, but we blacked out last week. So finally the lights are back on. Yep. But, Joe, this is your time. Go ahead and boast.
The Ravens did exactly what I thought they would do. They rallied around Ray Lewis and had the big game. Flacco was able to come through big, able to beat that 49er secondary. And it was just a great game. Not as much defense as I would have liked. I wanted it more towards like 21-17, but still a very close, entertaining game, and a little bit of controversy there at the end, David.
Indeed. I was happy that the Ravens won, because had they lost, I mean, a lot of people want to talk, momentum exists, it doesn't exist. It truly does.
It does.
And had
in football.
And had the Niners won, the blackout, it would have been kind of a damper on the entire thing. So you know what? I was happy. It was a close game. I'm happy it became a barn burner, as I predicted on 12 Hours Take. I love Beyonce. Had fun.
She's spectacular too.
And it truly, indeed, an entertainer, and just an entertaining Super Bowl indeed. So I think that's ultimately, what we all wanted. Now, more entertaining things. The NBA All-Star break is upcoming. You got the celebrity game. One of my favorite underrated events. I love the celebrity game.
I love the celebrity game. Kevin Hart.
Yeah, he's always hilarious. Even Justin Bieber showed he had some moves a couple years ago. Then you have the rookie sophomore challenge that is now the Team Chug against Team Shaq. Then you have All-Star Saturday Night. My favorite event is that Shooting Stars. I love the Shooting Stars. I love when they shoot from the spots, and then everybody has to try the half-court heave. That's my favorite event of Saturday night. I mean, a lot of people go with the three-pointer or the dunk contest. Yourself?
I personally like the dunk contest. I have James White from the Knicks winning this year.
I'm going to go with Fareed, the Manimal.
What's your favorite dunk contest moment all time?
Chris Anderson missing. Oh, those dunks.
I'd say Amar Stoudemire when he got the ball off the head from Steve Nash.
Oh, okay.
And dunked it in.
I think it was the same dunk contest. I think it was Iverson Iguodala off the side of the backboard. That's probably one of my favorite dunks. One of the most underrated dunks. I like Rudy Fernandez also that one year. I think he got robbed, but nonetheless. And then we have the All-Star game. East or West?
I'm going to take the East.
Oh.
A lot of athleticism over there for him, a lot of talent. Dwight Howard did swap over to West this year, which is one concern, but I'm not sure if he's really going to go all out or be as effective as we think. But you got to love Carmelo and LeBron and Dwayne Wade in an all-star game environment.
Indeed. I want to go East. They have the king on their team, but that West, they're just going to be too gritty. Westbrook and then Durant, he's going to get it going. I don't think he has an all-star MVP on his trophy case yet. So I'm going to go with West. As a Spurs fan, I go West. But nonetheless, that doesn't take away from the greatness of LeBron James. We were talking about that during the break. Greatest 6-game stretch of all time, according to some cable sports networks. Yeah. I tend to agree.
I'd probably tend to go more towards Wilt Chamberlain, but we've debated this before. You're saying the quality of competition not as high for Wilt.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't see him live, just a little bit out of my timeline frame range. I don't know. I guess only time will tell who truly is great. But I'll tell you what is great. RattlerAthletics.com, where you can find Tovar's Take. You can find some of Joe's stuff on there. You can find some of everybody's stuff there. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/St. Mary's Rattlers. Also, follow us on Twitter @St. Mary's Rattlers. Joe, I know you're following us.
Of course.
And, of course, for the latest on all the sports, stats, schedules, decorative wallpaper, the iPhone app, what's the website?
RattlerAthletics.com.
For Joe Rodriguez, I'm David Tovar. You've been watching Talkin Rattlers with the banter. It's never out of season.